we did some good stuff. It was great for us to get some work against the zone. It's the first time we've seen it in live action this year. I thought it slowed us down the last 4 minutes of the first half. We got some wide open looks and missed them, and I thought that slowed us down. In the second half, they stayed with it because we didn't score for the rest of the half when they went to their zone. Again, it slowed us down. We didn't play with the necessary pace that we need to play with against the zone. But it was good because it gave us some work against it. We have some film that we can talk about it and show. I thought the last 10 minutes when we started playing with the pace against the zone, that we were shot ready and we made shots. I was really pleased with our defense the first 14 minutes of the first half, first 15 minutes of the first half. We have to be able to sustain it. In the first half, they had 8 points in the paint. In the second half, they had 24. So we have to do a much better job of being able to sustain that. They came into this game averaging about 76 points a game. Really, with about 3 minutes left, we had them at like 52. You know, we got to do a better job closing. You know, the guys that get in the game at the end, they have to do a better job of knowing what we're doing and being able to execute what we're doing. But overall, pleased with the win, and look forward to getting better.
Ish, when they were obviously using the zone and you guys had different lulls, what were you guys doing to try to shake yourselves out of it? Because eventually you guys did find your pace again.
Like you said, just playing with pace, making sure we get a great shot every time, attacking gaps. That's something we work on in practice a lot. And the biggest emphasis was, like I said before, just making sure the shot that we get is the best shot available each possession.
Zach, Gardner-Webb's coach Jeremy Luther was just here just talking about you guys, the way you guys aggressively attack the ball. It's not just one of you going for a block shot, it's two of you, three sometimes, and just said he felt like Jeff was coming out there on some of the plays. What is it about the pace, about you guys, the way you play defense that gets after people like that?
I mean, we practice it every day. We go through the drills, we go through shell, all that stuff. And then we always got to have our brothers back. So if I see one of our brothers needing some help, I'm going to come over every time and help.
Ish, what did Amsel give you in the few minutes that he was able to play tonight?
Just a different look. Somebody who could be on ball, can be off ball. Just help decision making, honestly. I feel like the decisions he made tonight were good, and he's only going to build off of it.
Ish, Gardner-Webb's coach also said it's hard to speed you up. That you play at the right pace, and it's hard to get you out of what you're trying to do. How hard have you worked at that, and would you describe that also about your game?
I think just what's in my brain is making each decision one step at a time, not really rushing or trying to do too much, just letting the game come to me. I think that's something I've been trying to work on.
Ish, the guards have kind of led the way through the first 3 games this season. With you guys' like kind of slightly different play style, just how easy was it for you guys to kind of mesh together, you know, through the off season and into the fall and the season?
I think we meshed really quick. I feel like I know what everybody's going to do on the court just because I played with them for a good minute and I've seen them each and every day make their decisions, so I just go off their lead, and I think, yeah, we definitely meshed well.
Both of you guys were the two most successful, like, the three-point shooters on the night. What was it about your ability to find, like, your spot, or what allowed you guys to both hit your three-pointer when you shot most of the night?
Getting a great shot every time. If somebody's open, pass them the ball. If the next person's open, one more. It's simple basketball, honestly.
Yeah, that's really it. Just trusting your work.
What's the
Zach, for you specifically, you know, last season you started a handful of games, came off the bench, and most of them you came off the bench in every game so far this season. How have you kind of embraced that new role and used it to your advantage?
I think it's fun, honestly. I like it. You get to come see, you get to see the game. You come in, and JC tell me before every game, before every tip, when I get in, stuff got to change. So it's fun. I like it.
I know you guys are just getting through this game. You guys got, you know, a big rivalry game Friday night. What's been the excitement of the team to get ready for that big contest with that team coming in here?
I mean, we know it's going to be a dogfight, and I feel like we prepared for the dogfight. These past 3 games we kind of felt each other out, and now it's time to put all the pieces together again and go out there and do what we do best.
Jeff, Jimmy was talking to us, just before you guys came in. He said he felt his zone didn't really slow you guys down. You guys just didn't make your shots. Do you feel like it was simply that, or was there something about creating those shots that you guys needed to do better?
I just didn't think we played with the necessary pace against the zone. When teams go zone, I think part of it is that they want to try to slow you down a little bit, and they make you think. And when you haven't seen it and you switch up, sometimes it can make your offense kind of, okay, what are they in? Okay, what are we supposed to be in? And so it just throws the rhythm off for a little bit. And then we did get wide open shots and we missed them. And that kind of messed with us a little bit. Guys got into their head a little bit. And those are two things we can't allow to happen. And so that's why I said it was good for us, because we haven't seen it. We knew they played zone, and so we practiced against it for a couple of days. But practice is a lot different when there are people out there and popcorn's going and the band is playing and they got score up on the board and video boards going. It's a lot different in those situations. So it was good for us to get this experience, and I expect us, if we see win and if we see zone again, we'll be better.
In those moments when the shots aren't falling, do you tell them to just keep firing, or do you have to?
As long as it's a good shot. As long as it's a good shot, I live with it.
You have a lot of games coming up against power conference teams. Are you eager to see how your team's going to respond in the next 6 or 7 games?
Yeah. I'm eager to see us every day. I think we have a chance to get better every day. The thing I want our guys and our program to understand, every game we play is the most important because we're playing. Doesn't matter who we're playing. And it's a chance for us to get better. And that's the mindset we want to have every day. For the past couple of years, we've done a pretty good job of having that mindset. Certainly we know the juice will be a lot different in here on Friday. The competition level will be increased to a different level, the level of talent, all of those things. We understand that. We're excited about it, and to see where we are against that level of competition.
Zach had another big game with, he had 5 blocks in the last game, 4 blocks in this game. But what is it about your defense, or how do you coach your defense to create those extra block shots? Because even when he's guarding the ball, sometimes it's Guillermo coming. How do you coach them to be that aggressive without overcompensating, and sometimes missing other opportunities?
Yeah, we got to do a better job of it, to be completely honest. I mean, when we do a good job of communicating and having discipline, then our length can be a strength for us, and especially off the ball. Where we get in trouble is when we get a little bit fatigued or we get a lead and we relax. And then when we do that, we don't talk as much. And so we don't fight through screens as much. And that's where the mistakes come. And that's where the stuff off the ball can get you in trouble. But we do have good size. We do have good length. Zach just naturally has a gift of being able to use his athleticism and go over and make these unbelievable blocks off the ball. He has a knack for reading, what someone is going to do. And we want him to use his instincts and trust those.
Jeff, do you feel the corrections from those lulls just come from experience?
I think it comes from experience. Again, this is the 4th time we played against someone else, but it was the first time we've seen zone, and especially for an extended period of time. It was smart of them, because when they went to it in the first half, we didn't score. And so we told them at halftime, they're going to play it in the second half until we score. We scored a little bit early against it. But Zach hit a huge 3 in the corner, I think, when it got to 10 or 12. And they had gained a little bit of the momentum against the zone. He hit a corner 3 in front of our bench that kind of ignited us. And then we got the pace going. And because we got the pace going, then we were able to step into our shots a little bit more aggressive.
How big of a spark has Zach been off the bench so far?
It's been huge for us.
Yeah.
He's been huge for us. Zach's a really good player. We anticipated him. We saw the work that he put in this summer to work on his game, all aspects of it. I thought he was good for us last year. The thing we talked to him and we want to challenge him is to be consistently good. He had moments last year when he was terrific. We want to make those moments greater. We want to make those consistent. And for him, it's not necessarily going to be scoring. That's a bonus. Zach's scoring will be making an open shot, cutting, driving it, and being all over the offensive glass. But the impact he can have defensively, because he allows us to do some different things defensively.
What's allowed Ish to be so consistent this season, just in terms of the scoring?
He's worked. I mean, he worked really, really hard this summer, especially on shooting the basketball. That was a big part of his game that he wanted to improve on. Obviously, he's always been able, since he's been with us, to drive and slash and get the spots, and he's strong. But he really wanted to work on his three-point shot, and I thought he's done a good, really, really good job of that. And just the experience of playing, the experience of being in our program, knowing what we expect and knowing what to expect of himself.
In the first half, he had a play where he anticipated a pass defensively, picked it off, took it down the length of the floor. Just talk about the impact as a two-way player Ish has.
Yeah, well, what we've done all 3 games now is that the best offensive guard he's guarded. You know, the kid Selden came into this game averaging 19.5 points a game, and he was 4 for 13. So he takes pride in that. He takes pride in being a two-way guy. He was our best perimeter defender last year, and you know, he has the mindset. He's mentally and physically tough. He's a fighter, and he's a little pit bull. And normally, when you have those instincts like that, then you usually are a pretty good defender. And so I think that's what's allowed him to do that.
He was the sixth man of the year last year. Is that the kind of award that guys can be motivated to not win it again because they fight their way into the starting lineup?
Well, I think Ish just wants to be a really good player for us and help us win. I think that's the biggest thing. I don't think he's worried about individual accolades. Certainly, he was grateful and appreciative and proud of it last year, but I think he wants us to win, and he wants to do everything that he can do to help us win. He's really taken leadership very seriously. He's worked on it this summer. He has the respect of every guy in that locker room, and it's been really cool to watch him find his voice.
How important is it to start this season with a 5-game stretch at home before a really tough road stretch to end the month and start December?
Yeah, it's important, man. Every game is important. Every chance to win and to play and to get experience and to figure out who we are together. All of those things are important, whether we're at home or on the road. We're just excited to be playing against someone besides ourselves.
The thoughts of where Amsel is in his first debut game.
I thought he did some really good things. You know, in the first half, he was able to get extended minutes. I thought he made some really good passes when he first got in. He made a post pass to Cam, where Cam was able to score. In the second half, I thought he made some passes that were good passes. We're just not used to them. And the more experience he gets, we'll get used to that. Obviously, he made a 3. You know, I think he was a little bit rushed on his free throws because he's a good shooter. But I thought he did really, really well for not having played basketball continuously up and down in over a month.
In a perfect world, would you like to get more minutes off your bench tonight?
We'll see. Yeah, he got the minutes that he got.
I'm not talking about him, but just everybody.
Look, those 3 guards are going to play a lot. I mean, that's the reality. Like, they're going to play a lot. And, you know, we want Cameron to play a lot. You know, he's got to not foul. Guillermo should be a guy that plays a lot. You know, Zach's going to be a guy. And so, you know, you got to earn it. It's not just, I don't give playing time out. Guys earn playing time. And there's no such thing as, you know, BS minutes. You know, if you think that, then you're BS. You're full of it. And so, you know, I don't like the fact that we were up 27 with 3 minutes to go and we won by 19. I don't like that at all. I don't like how we ended the game defensively. And guys have to understand every second you get out there is an opportunity. I've had guys that have played for me that in a situation like this, you know, played some minutes and got in and just played their butts off. And then the same thing the next game. And then the same thing the next game. And then he played a little bit earlier, you know, after that. And then we go to LaSalle. It was at VCU. We go to LaSalle and he starts. He was a walk-on. I start him. And he hits the game-winning shot. And he started for the rest of the year. All because of how he approached every minute, every second that he was in there. And shoot around and all of those things. It's one of the most incredible stories of a kid that I have ever coached. And it's one of the coolest kids and best kids that I ever coached. For the rest of his time there, he ended up starting for us the rest of his time as a freshman, every year after that, one of my assistants would say, we have to improve this position. You know, we got to get somebody better. And I would tell them no one will ever beat them out because they can't do it. They can't physically and mentally do it every day. And that's the level of toughness that you have to have. We have good players. And so you got to show up every day with the right attitude, and you have to earn it. And we'll see if guys earn it. Those guys that I just mentioned earlier, they're going to play. But we need guys on the bench to be ready to play. But they got to do it in practice, and they got great attitudes and all those things. I'm not saying that to say that they don't, but you know, everyone's got to earn it. I don't just give it out.
Do you tell those kind of stories to your players to motivate them?
Pardon me?
Do you share those kind of stories?
Yeah, I've told that story every year I've been a head coach. From the time I left him, when I went to Oklahoma, every team that I've coached knows the story of Jesse Pellerosa. That was his name. When I left VCU to go to Oklahoma, he was a senior on that team the next year, a captain. One of the most amazing stories. Then he graduated and goes, and he was the final cut for the New York Jets.
Wow.